Shalom, everyone. I am J.A. Dudley, and I'm here to actually talk about my shirt, tell a little bit about my story, and how I came out of here, my people. COOHMP, as you see it right there. I heard the calling. I've wanted to for such a long time, wanted to get out of New Jersey, come live in the country. If you can't hear, I am in the middle of Oklahoma, well, in Oklahoma, in the middle of nowhere, living on some property, some country land, and you get to hear all of this all day and night, which is great. Outside of that, it is very peaceful, no whole bunch of people walking around, cars driving past. Actually, the road is like 200 yards from here to get to the roadway, and even then it's not a lot of people that's driving past or that I would have to interact with. So it was a part of my dream and vision that I always wanted, and now I'm living it. But the come out of here part um, of my life, what was it? It was early January. My wife and I were trying to figure out what we were going to do. I had the desire for, like I said, for a long time, but then I told her we need to put a plan together and get out of New Jersey. How we're going to do that, I don't know. Been looking at van life videos and all this other stuff, trying to figure out what it is that we're going to do. And what we came up with is for us to have a child, we don't need to be in New Jersey. We were trying all these things to get pregnant. But then once I put that plan forward saying that we will live on the truck, maybe get a van or something, and start to save up some money, we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. Yah will guide us wherever we need to be. So what ended up happening is by, I believe, February of 2020, when the whole virus thing started kicking off, we said, yes, that's what we're going to do. We reached out to the people we were renting the house from, told them, hey, by August of 2020, we're out of here. They asked us previously, a few years prior, saying, like, do you want to buy the house? And I kept saying, no, don't want to buy the house. I'm trying to find a way out of New Jersey. And it was actually the perfect timing to let them know, hey, we're going. We don't know where we're going, but we'll figure it out. So we started to make that plan. I was trying to purchase a van. Couldn't find one. My mechanic, Jeff, mechanic and great friend Jeff, he had one, but he was like, nah, I don't want to sell you that one. It was a Sprinter van. Those were all the craze for the van life culture, getting a Sprinter. So he had one. He was like, nah, I don't want to sell you that. It needs some work. It's diesel, and with it being a Sprinter, that's a Mercedes. So everything is going to be premium cost. You don't want to do that. So he saved me on that one. Thank you again, Jeff. So we started looking at all this. We had a house full of stuff and tried to figure out, well, what do we need? What do we need to get rid of? Every week doing that. After I would be out on the road truck driving, get back, we look at all our stuff, start donating stuff, and then we would rest together for Shabbat, and then after that start to prepare for me to get back on the road, whether it was go food shopping, washing clothes, different things like that, and figuring out what we were going to do with things. So as time went on, I think in March, we were out on the road together, and as usual, she's taking the tests and pregnancy tests and all of that, find out that we're pregnant. So that made us stop for a little bit, like, oh, is this something that we really want to do? Do we really want to try and do this? Having a pregnant wife living in a truck or in a van, like, how do we do all of this? So we said, well, these are the prayers that we set out. This is the guidance that we said that we wanted to adhere to. So we're going to stick with the plan, and wherever we land, that's what's going to happen. So getting close to the time, I think it was July, another van popped up. That was a Ram ProMaster that we ended up getting. We had to finance that, but we were able to. Our credit was good enough to get all of that set, and got that from Jeff. Thank you again, Jeff. And started. We were getting rid of things from the house. I was trying to build out the van, going different places, like getting a bed made, purchasing a freezer to convert into a refrigerator, solar panels, mounted them on top with magnets. One day they went flying off on the highway. Sorry if your vehicle got hit with a solar panel. I didn't see anything happen. I ended up just parking and realizing the solar panels weren't up there anymore. So if it hit anyone, sorry, didn't mean to. I apologize. But it had to order new solar panels and actually screw them in so they don't go anywhere. They're still up there on top of the van, which is a good thing. From there, we handed in the keys, had a place to sleep in the van, and then just living on the truck. But as time got on in the pregnancy, all the bouncing of the highway got a little bit too much for my wife, so she wanted to stay back. She ended up, we talked to some of our family members. She ended up staying at my uncle's house, which is across the street from where the house we rented was. And she was there through most of the pregnancy. Then we got invited to COOHMP out here in Oklahoma with TJ Morris, Bear Independent. If you're, I guess most of you that know him know me, unless you follow me throughout my fight career. So that's somebody new to you. So I'm going to remember to put his links down below. Bear Independent, or bearindependent.com. So we came out here for COOHMP. It was an amazing thing. Then I started to talk back with my company, Diamond Chemical, which is a great company, where I drove for doing hazmat, like chemicals and all this stuff, bringing those all around the country. And when I first signed on with them in 2018, I asked them, like, hey, do you have like a hub in the middle of the country that I could work out of? Because I wanted to live in Kansas, out in the middle of nowhere, away from everybody. And they was like, no, but we'll talk about it later. They then at the end of the year, what was that, 2018, they said that they were closing a deal out in Arizona. So money was tied up. We'll see where things could go. Then in 2019, we're talking about stuff. Still nothing happening. So also in January of 2020, I told them, like, hey, the clock is starting now. Got 2 years, possibly, within the next 2 years, I'm going to be leaving the company to go live out in the middle of the country. Where I'm going, I don't know. I don't know if I'll still be driving for you, but let's see if we could get that hub in the middle of the country together, and that might work out mutually beneficial to both of us. They said, oh, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. And then after COOHMP, came back out here for Yankee's wedding. Yankee Cannon, well, his name now online is Howitzer Hill. I'll try to remember to put the links to his channel and stuff down below. His wedding happened, I believe, 2 weeks later, and on the way out here, we actually brought the truck out. Well, not out here. We brought the truck because we had my wife and I had a delivery in Colorado. Then on the way back, everything blew up. I mean, not everything. The transfer case on the semi, brand new truck, a 2021. No, I mean a 2020. The transfer case blew up, so we were stuck there on the side of the road in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ended up getting a loaner truck. Met up with Bear Independent. He said, "Oh, we're doing a training out here for refuge training," and went there to the hotel. Got up the next day, followed him back to his property, and on the way we were sitting in traffic. I was talking with him over the radio, saying that he was asking what I was doing. I'm applying for jobs out here. And then when we got back here to his property, he said, "Well, I know it's not much, but what would this number work for you to get on staff?" And I started crunching numbers, like, I don't know, well, it's about half of my current salary, but I'll be happy doing what I'm doing and not being on the road, not being away from my pregnant wife, and I'll actually get to live in the country, something that I always wanted to do since I was a little kid. So talked with my wife about it, told him, it's like, you know what, instead of calling these companies, I'm gonna just call my company and give them my 2 weeks notice. Did that. Oh, they were not happy about that at all. They said, "Well, can it be 3 weeks or 4 weeks? We really need you." I was like, you're just holding me back from where Yah is guiding me to. So please respect that. I gave them about three more weeks, and even since then, they've called me back a few times, trying to get me to come back to drive like part-time or temporary. But driving part-time is still being out on the road for a couple of weeks, and then before I'd be able to get back out here. So I had to decline on all of that. So then my wife and I, we grabbed everything that we needed. You saw, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw us in front of our van. That was like one of the last pictures that we took in New Jersey. Got on a road, and that was it. We didn't announce to people that we were leaving. Very few choice family and friends. Some of my fight team, we let them know, and my son, my older son, football Dudley, that would have been still staying in New Jersey with his mother. Those are there were very few people that I let know that I was leaving New Jersey. There's even family members that had no idea that I was leaving New Jersey. I just didn't feel like letting them know or having them question me about why this or why that. Plus, a lot of them not really on talking terms with. So I just left them behind. I decided to come out of here, my people, lest you partake in their sins. And there was, as you see what's going on because of the pandemic or whatever in New Jersey, it was just that type of living. I would have never been comfortable leaving my wife and newborn son and me getting on the road, truck driving across the country. Like one day they're just gonna say, nope, nobody's coming into New Jersey. I don't care if you're a truck driver or not. But back then we were essential employees, and we can go and do whatever we wanted. Like, oh, turn off your hours of service. You could just drive. We need stuff. Oh, yay, truck drivers, nurses, doctors, you're saving us. But now, since they want you to conform and get the shot or wear a mask and all this other stuff, when we were essential and heroes just last year, but now we're gonna be killing everyone doing the exact same thing. I wanted no part in that. So I was happy and blessed that I heard the calling of Yah. Then other people saw the benefit in me to give me the opportunity to come out of here, my people. So for many months we were living in the van. Then our little chunk was born in January. Then trying to figure out how to get more space. Like, where do we need to direct our money to? Then another brother that lives on the property, he and his wife had another travel trailer that they offered to us. There were other brothers that had travel trailers that were states away. That Ridland, he had a travel trailer that he wanted to donate to us, which would have been a great thing. It was just with all the states in between, there was conflict of motor vehicles not being open, couldn't get license plates, and it was just a lot of things that were hindering that. So once one of the brothers here on the property said, hey, I have another travel trailer in Texas that's coming available. Do you want it? It would be a great blessing to you, your wife, and your newborn son. I said, yes, of course. This is great. Something very charitable and joyous. Now we have a lot more space, especially a lot more than the van, getting us more acclimated to the country life. Me, I was happy living in a van. My wife is now happy that she has some space to move around, hop in the shower whenever she wants. We in one of the back rooms, we were able to make a little play area for my little chunk, and things are great. It's been a blessing. This is just another chapter in our life, and just wanted to share it with you. This is how we came out of here. You can do it too. Don't think that it's going to be it's impossible. It is possible. You can do it as long as your heart is in it. Tell people what your story is, especially those that are close to you, what you want to do, how it will be beneficial to them, and soon enough, you'll be living free, not having any worries, and telling your story to the next person that has that idea before everything collapses. Yah loves you, Yah loves me, Yah loves everyone. You just got to open your ears to hear him say it. Shalom.